So I'm gonna just jump right in. Today, mainly what we're gonna be talking about for everyone here, we're gonna be talking a lot about what we've done in fall. We're gonna be doing a little bit of kumbaya recapping, all the great things that we've done, but most of the important information for everyone in here is gonna be some of the cool stuff that we're doing in spring. So I'm gonna go over all of our different ideas and our ambitions for spring. It's gonna include NIHAX 8, obviously. Show of hands, who went to NIHAX? Any of them? 6, 7? Okay, good amount, almost everyone. So we're already gonna be starting planning NIHAX 8 pretty soon, kind of spring semester. So we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about our project launch program. By show of hands, who's here in Kickstart? Okay, that's our fall program. We're gonna be transitioning over to project launch. I'll be talking about that. We're gonna bring back Hack-A-Days. If there's any older members of the club, who's been to a Hack-A-Day? I think the only one, we got 2. So we're gonna be trying to bring them back. I'll kind of go into what those are a little bit more, and then last but not least, we got some exciting news about BitCamp. If anyone was an ops, you'll know what that is, but I'll go ahead and kind of air that out for everyone here. So we're gonna start with the fall recap. We're gonna kind of breeze through this, but essentially what we're gonna be talking about is what everyone thought. By show of hands, who's filled out a feedback form for NIHAX? I know we throw them at your face like all the time. Perfect, cool. So
somebody, thank you.
Somebody, yeah, more than like
Please,
2 people, at least 5. For all of our events, whether that be NIHAX, workshops, Kickstart stuff, we like to ask for feedback so we kind of know how we did. And with that being said, I'm very proud of what we've done this year. We have some really great numbers to show y'all. So first off, we're going to talk about our workshops. There are more than just this. I literally couldn't fit them on the slide. So that's definitely very cool stuff. I wish Yusuf was here. Give a little round of applause to Yusuf. He's not here, but so we've done a lot of good stuff, got a lot of people prepared, and with all of those feedback forms, we now have the following metrics. An 8.74 out of 10 in terms of how fun our workshops were, which is great because we teach some pretty boring stuff sometimes. So I'm happy about that. 8.92 out of 10 in terms of the learning value, and then a 9.14 overall. So I think we did pretty good this fall semester. Very proud of that. Hopefully we can get it to 9.15 or above in the spring semester. So I know we kind of had some gaps this fall semester. We're going to try to keep it more consistent with spring, but even so, we still held a damn lot of workshops. So very happy about that. Next up, we're going to be talking about Kickstart. Again, show of hands who's in Kickstart. For those of you who don't know, Kickstart is our mentorship program. It opens at the start of fall, runs through fall, and ends at fall. So we're going to just talk about that a little bit so you guys can get an idea of what it's about, maybe join next year, maybe you want to come back as a mentor. Some of the things that we've done that we're proud of for our mentorship program is resume reviews. We've done free professional headshots for all of our members. We've done an industry Ask Me Anything panel and mock behavioral and technical interviews as well as some socials. Kickstart was a lot of fun. We had a really good time, and we actually grew Kickstart by 60% this year compared to last year, which is really great. And to my current understanding, we are the largest computer science mentorship program with over 100 people. So it's very cool stuff.
One more thing I just wanted to add, like really quickly, is that for everyone who's in that room, like it's honestly a future pathway forward. Mainly because if you look around at specifically for the computer science major, it is not enough. It is genuinely not enough. If you want to take your degree to that next level, get the experience that some of us up on this stage or some of the other people in NIHAX that you know, like Caleb, have, you just can't sit in classrooms. And being a part of something and learning from other people, learning from other computer science majors, it's a great opportunity. I'm thankful for everyone who shows up to every single meeting, who shows up to all our stupid events. I'll still call them stupid no matter how much I love them. And even for those who even go out to like our kickbacks and have fun and learn how to relax and socialize with us, because it's a two-way street. I enjoy it just as much as helping other people as well. And on a different note, I also want to say that, well, I'm just so excited for specifically next year and the people who are in Kickstart and seeing how that looks forward. Many of you guys are in great opportunities to have internships this summer, which I'm going to be excited to see where y'all place. I know that's all work in progress, so please don't be a stranger. And also, one last thing, I am an alumni for like a Microsoft program called New Technologist. If you've heard of it, their application opens up sometime in January. Please reach out to me in January. I'm down to give referrals. So yeah, that's it.
So moving forward with Kickstart, we have our statistics we've compiled from our exit survey. So we have an 8.2 out of 10 for learning, a 9 out of 10 for fun, and a 9.2 out of the overall growth that all of our our mentees have felt. So Parit's not here either. He has some stuff to attend to, but go ahead and give him a round of applause so you can hear it later. All right. And last but not least, one more time, who went to NIHAX? Keep your hand up if you filled out our feedback survey.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I see it. Well, We got the most feedback responses out of anything else that we've done for Night Hacks. I believe it was like 60 people filled it out, which is a good amount of people. So we're going to talk about that because, again, I really like what we've done this year. So for Night Hacks, the hackathon, we had an 8.10 out of 10 for learning, an 8.97 out of 10 for fun, and a 9.06 out of 10 overall. So that was a really, really good hackathon. Give it up for Leo right here, lead hackathon organizer. And keep it going for every other organizer in the room. Who do we got? We got Ricky here. We got Christy. Who else we got? So yeah, we had a lot of fun. We're really excited for next year. Like I said, we're already planning, which is crazy to say because it's only November, but we want to make Night Hacks 8 really, really good.
Last notes. Come on, you gotta say something else. You can't just say that.
What am I gonna say?
What else? Bro, okay. For anyone who hasn't been on the back curtain on what it's like to organize this thing, it is almost a labor of love. It is something that will be so ugly every single day that only a mother can love the event because it will always look terrible. Everything's on fire. I walked 70,000 steps during those 3 days of the hackathon. When we finally stopped and sat down, we're like, holy shit, it happened, and engineering did not burn down. We did have to call the police though, but that's a different story. The point being is that for every person who gets a great experience out of Night Hacks, it is a multiplier for everyone's education. Everybody. You don't know what it looks like for companies where they go to the UCF Career Center and they have average students who just show up, who just have a basic resume, who don't have anything else, who don't work on any other projects, who only just go to class, compared to people who are actually getting shit done. So if you went to Night Hacks or even anyone else who was on the organizing side, I really do thank you. Because it is something that it is so hard to replicate, and it's something that for everyone who participates, it makes our job just so much more better and so much more impactful. So I thank you for coming, and thank you for organizing as well.
So I didn't want to bring that up for the reason that we're going to move on to our spring plan, starting with our plan for organizers. So if you want to join the fire, be part of the stress, but also part of the team that puts on such an amazing event, it really is super fulfilling. I can genuinely say that hackathons and just the culture in general has changed my life, and I think it's really, really cool to do that same thing. So if you would like to be an organizer, despite what Brunik said to scare you, we have our interest form up here. So I'll give it like 30 seconds if anyone wants to take a scan. Can grad students be organizers?
Yeah, you're a UCF student.
So yeah, anyone's welcome to go ahead and sign this up. This is not the formal application. The next slide I'm going to talk about what the process is going to be like to become an organizer. But it really is a lot of fun. And you get to be the one sitting in the room with all the sponsors waiting for the fun to happen. So you just chill in there with them. Not that I needed to persuade you, but there's a lot of cool stuff going on in the background. So yeah, everyone good? Just scan that. All right, cool.
Show of hands. How many of you have already filled out the form? Because
we have a few.
Yeah. And how many of you are interested?
Okay. All right, cool.
I like to see it.
All right. So in terms of the organizer timeline, very simple. It's all going to happen in the next month and a half because we do want to have all of our organizers picked in spring. We promise we won't ghost you like the Fortune 500 companies you've all been applying to. So essentially, if you fill this out, this isn't the formal application. This is just kind of a tester. From there, we're going to send out the real deal full application to all of the people that are on the interest form via email, kind of within finals week area, but you don't have to fill that out for some good amount of time, right? From there, we're going to pick all of the people that we're interested in talking to learn more. We're going to conduct interviews throughout maybe the first 2 weeks of winter break.
No leak
and then
code.
from there, yeah, no
leak code, bro.
5 leak code hard, system design interview, 3 behaviorals. No, it's just 1 interview. We just kind of want to know more, kind of get to meet everyone, get an idea. It's basically a vibe check. And really trying to gauge that commitment that you'd have, because at the end of the day, organizing takes a lot. Some of us specifically took less credits and stupid electives during fall because we knew that we were going to be so elbow deep in this. So there's a lot that goes into it. We'll kind of share more information on what the roles, the expectation, the responsibility would be like in our interview if we're interested. And then last but not least, we'd have all of our organizers appointed at least a week before spring semester. Maybe have something to get to know each other, but the idea is that we will be meeting once a week throughout the spring to start planning the hackathon in the fall of next year.
Also, maybe a little fun hackathon, maybe.
Oh yeah, and also as being an organizer for a hackathon, you actually are able to go to an event called HackCon. I wish I had pictures up. It was a lot of fun. It's perfect that we're up here. Me, Leo, and Brunix were invited by MLH. How many of you are familiar with MLH? They all went up on stage if you went to the hackathon. Cool. They invite all of the hackathon organizers out to New York, and we literally stay in like a kumbaya log cabin campfire bonanza. And you just hang out with all the other organizers. We met a ton of people from all over the world that are also hackathon organizers. So it's also really, really fun. If you're an organizer early in the year, you can actually apply for their scholarship, and you can go out to New York, have a nice weekend trip in the city and upstate for free. So I guess more incentives. Not that I'm trying to incentivize you guys, but cool. So that leads us to our next thing, club updates that I kind of want to talk about. We are going to be having a pretty aggressive rebranding for the spring semester. Every single year rather, we sort of change our identity. Who's been in the club for longer than a year? Show of hands. And we have some, a lot of new faces though. So last year we had D&D themed. A lot of our assets on Instagram were all D&D themed, or fantasy, sorry. Don't want to get sued. But we've finally kind of figured out what we want our club's image to be, because for the longest time we've been mirroring the theme of the hackathon, and that would always change our club's theme. So if anyone knows Lenny, our silly little dragon mascot, that was because we did fantasy, and dragons are fantasy. But then when we went to pirate, we were like, well, how are we going to put a dragon in a pirate hat? But we did, but it's like, it doesn't really make sense. So we spent a lot of time trying to narrow down our club's identity. And so with that being said, we are going to go into talking about our new club site, which is going to be one of our first pillars of our new club's identity. Starting spring 2025, we're going to have a fully new club site. Has anyone seen the current Night Hacks club site with the stupid particles on it? Okay, good. Thank you. We're going to be starting a new website. We're taking on a new project with our dev and design team. So on this website, you will be able to fill out your membership, everything. This will be an all-in-one shop for you as a Night Hacks member. You fill out your membership all at once. You get to handle the payment on there, so no two process of filling out a Google form and then paying on Square and then DMing Brunix, telling him you paid. It was a bunch of nonsense. We're a dev club. We're going to make a website, right? So we're working on that. It's going to be kind of a home for you as a Night Hacks member. It's going to be a place where events are advertised, the calendar's up, all of that. And it is also going to put you into our database. We are going to ask for a resume. You can keep it updated as much as you want. That is not for us to give you qualifications as a Night Hacks member. That's a resume pool for our sponsors. So keep that in mind. So here's the inspiration we had for our club's image, right? We kind of had to separate the fantasy, the pirate, the tech, and all that. So we kind of were going for a little bit of a cyberpunk vibe. And so with that being said, we actually do have a Figma currently in process for those that are interested in seeing. So this is kind of what we're looking like right now. We've got the kind of nice neon purplish glow. And so this is some screenshots from the Figma and stuff like that. So kind of an exciting project we're taking on. Get excited for that in the spring. You'll be able to fill out all your membership there. For all who's paid dues, show of hands. You still, that's good actually, that's great. You still are going to have to fill out this membership form in spring, but all of the people that have already paid dues, we're going to manually force add you guys into the dues section just because, you know, we did it in the middle of the semester. So don't worry about that. You're not going to have to pay again. If you've already paid in fall, you're perfectly fine. Next up, we're going to talk about project launch. Who's done project launch with Night Hacks in the past? Damn, lots of new faces in here. Leo and I did it.
I'm happy. I'm happy no one got to see that. Oh my lord.
Okay, yeah, project launch last semester wasn't great, but I won't kind of go into those faults anymore since not many people were actually in it. So project launch essentially is going to be, it's going to be kind of like a semester-long hackathon in the sense that you're going to make a team, and your team is going to work on a project. It's going to run through the entire semester up until the week before finals, at which point we judge each and every one of you. Look who decided to show up. What's up, y'all? Oh, delayed round of applause for Parrot. He's here now. That's our mentorship director back there. Perfect timing too. We're about to talk about project launch. So project launch, like I said, is almost like a semester-long hackathon, but we're kind of make some changes this semester to more make it like a mini senior design. The only difference with that being is we're going to have some check-ins to make sure you guys are doing okay on your projects. We're going to have like some documentation that you guys need to write for us just so we have an idea of what you guys are building to help keep that retention for project submission going up, right? So it's a spring-only program. We only do project launch in the spring. So if you're like, I don't want to do it this semester, I'll do it next year, well, you're going to have to wait till next spring. And so like it says here, it's a semester-long hackathon. Some benefits of joining and doing a project, obviously experience working on a dev team. I never made a pull request until I went to project launch because I only worked on solo projects. I got to learn how GitHub worked in a more professional way. I got to work with a team. We learned about branching, all that fun stuff. Also boosting your resume. Obviously, you kind of want to put something on your resume, and really a 4-month long project, if you really treat it like one for 4 months, and don't cram on the last week, it's very evident when you have a 4-month-long project and a 4-hour-long project. It's a big difference. The bullet points are there, the community's there, you'll see it. You might actually get some real users because at the end we demo. Maybe my app's really cool to Carlos. Carlos is a user now, and now I can say I have a user, right? Also, you're gonna learn new skills and new frameworks. Obviously, you're gonna have to figure out what you wanna do and how to approach it, so you're gonna have to learn all of those skills, and you have 4 months to do it. So it's not like a hackathon where you're doing a ton of GPTing and Googling and not actually digesting anything. You have the time to actually take some time, invest in these skills, and learn those skills. And then last but not least, build your presentation skills. You will have to present this project in some sort of demo. We're gonna figure out how we're gonna do that. It's probably gonna be hackathon style, where either you present it to a room of judges or you present to every other project submit person, but we'll figure that out. And then here's just some examples of fun little projects from last year. So, plug right here, me and Leo are up here. We had a really good time with project launch, so I'm really excited to, get this out for you guys this semester. Another perk that we don't actually have here, because it's something new that I've been working on, if you're in project launch, we are also going to have a projects lab, ideally available for a few hours on Thursday and Friday. This is literally, you could drop in here and study for finals if you want, but being a project lab or a project launch participant gives you access to this room. You can study in here, you can have your meetings with your teammates in here, and we are working on having some general project mentors that kind of just hang out in there and have almost like office hours, but we're still working out on the details for that. We still have a few months before we get there, but it's another perk that you're gonna get if you're a part of our projects launch program. So here's kind of how it's gonna go. It's kind of sloppy, but I threw together just the general timeline. Registration is going to open either sometime over winter break, first week of spring semester. We're still ironing out the details, but you can apply either with a group, as a group, or you can apply kind of on your own for us to team match you, etc. We'll ask you all of those type of skills that you want, maybe a type of project idea that you have, so that we can go ahead and pair you with a group that is suitable, that will hopefully be compatible, whether that be through skill level, interest, ideas, etc. And then teams are created ideally by like second week of spring, because we want you to have all the time you have in the spring semester to start working on that project. Especially those first few weeks are really important because you're really getting that idea together. And the earlier, before you get through, start getting into the real exams and heavy stuff, the better. So we're going to try to get it done soon. Question in the back?
You said that you guys pair us in groups. Like, what if we wanted to choose our own?
Yeah, so you can fill out the form and we'll ask if you have any any teammates you want to sign up with. So yes, you can form your own group, or we'll pair you if you don't have any specification that you want to be in a group. Groups are going to be somewhere in the 3 to 6 range. We're still kind of figuring out a solid upper and lower bounds, but something similar to a hackathon. And then from there, we'll get all of our approved teams into Projects Lab. Projects are going to be submitted the week before finals, like I said, and there will also be a general check-in of either 2 to 4 throughout the semester, just making sure that you guys are kind of on track, so that you're on track to submit a project and we can kind of have, all of these really cool projects be submitted. So anything for you two to add on project launch?
We're gonna do any of the perks, like outside of prizes, like guaranteed?
Oh yeah, we will do prizes for projects program at the end as the winners, but also during, we will kind of have checkpoint prizes. So like I said, we're gonna be doing check-ins like 2 to 4 times a semester. Whoever has the most steady progression at each of those checkpoints will get a little mini prize. I think one of the things you were talking about is like automatic admission to NIHAX 8. We're getting crafty with it, but if you guys want to get some nice little club perks, go ahead and make sure you're on top of your project. But of course, classes come first, right? So project launch is pretty cool. Next thing I want to talk about is Hack-A-Days. As you saw at the start of the meeting, I'm gonna ask again. Have any of you been to Hack-A-Day? Y'all walked in. We got some. Okay, damn. Okay, so we have 2 people in here that's been to a Hack-A-Day. Hack-A-Days are something that we used to do a good amount of time ago in the club. During the spring semester, there aren't many Florida hackathons. We have rumors of Bull and Swamp doing their thing, but we don't count on any spring hackathons around this time of the year, right? So what we want to do to keep that engagement going, keep that hackathon spirit alive, and cultivate all of your creativity, we hold Hack-A-Days. Now what Hack-A-Days are, pretty straightforward. It's not a weekend, it's just a day. And so now you're like, how am I going to make a project in a day? Well, you don't. It's more of an ideathon. You're kind of proving a proof of concept. Some things that may help are like Figma site maps, or maybe like a diagram of the proposed infrastructure that you would make. But you don't have to have a fully fledged product. It's more of an ideathon. So like I said, it's a day-long mini hackathon. You focus, instead of on a project, you focus on a proof of concept. And like I said, Figma site maps will be really helpful, as well as diagrams to show your infrastructure. Those will be kind of your best ways to kind of verbalize your idea to the judges. We will have prizes for this, of course. In terms of dates, we're unsure yet. We might either have 1 or 2 in the spring semester. But Hackadays are really fun. We haven't done them in a while. We've been trying to do them. They all will also be like very hackathon adjacent in the sense that we'll have socials going on during the time. Odds are we'll have food. We'll have all of that kind of set up, as well as prizes, judges, maybe some challenge categories, maybe like best, I don't know, eco hack or stuff like that. So yeah, Hackadays are a lot of fun. I kind of want to bring them back because I know things can really slow down a lot in spring. So we're going to try to keep that momentum going through the year. And here's some fun little pictures of our last Hackaday. I got Brunix in the back. These are some real old ones. I think this is from 2022. I had to dig through the drive, so it's been a while. But see, as you can see here, it's more of a, like up here, it's more of a, like a visual presentation of an idea rather than an actual project, right? So there's kind of slides up here. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. We're going to try to do that in the spring semester.
And it also represents kind of an opportunity to brush up on a lot of skills that most people don't use, like Figma and like the rest of them, unless you're a dedicated designer. I know for a fact most people don't touch those tools unless they want or they have an interest in designing. So it really is a good opportunity to become a little more well-rounded. As a lot of times when people are trying to work on their first full stack project, they kind of neglect the design part and realize why their website looked like it's from 2010. So yeah, it's really fun. And we do provide food. As you see, the last time we did it, we got so much lazy there. It's a giant stack. To give you a context, some of those people, that guy on the over there, I'm pretty sure he's like 6'3". It's a lot of pizza. So we'll have food for everyone. And yeah, it's a fun time.
It filled up the entire like trunk of Mark's car, and it smelled like pizza for like the longest time.
So lots of pizza.
Lots of pizza.
And then that brings us to our last topic. So we've ironed it out. We've talked to other organizers in University of Maryland, and we actually are going to have one of NIHAC's first travel hackathons. So we are going to be taking 25 students from NIHAC's out to Maryland. We're going to fly out there. We're going to go to their event. Their event is called BitCamp. It's going to be from April 11th to 13th, so it's going to be later in the spring semester. If you are interested in going, this is the interest form right here. And so...
Yeah, it's at the University of Maryland College Park. If you don't know what that is, that's Maryland's flagship school, just like UF is here. Getting there, we're thinking about trying to fly in from DC and taking the DC Metro down over there. If you're familiar with DC, you probably know what that looks like. Just being warned that we're gonna have asking people to have emergency budgets just in case, sleeping bags, just sleeping utensil, anything to make sure that you're comfortable with. And more importantly, we're not going to allow anyone to, hey, I know a friend, I can stay at their apartment, and we're going to have to keep watching everyone. This is going to be funded with SGA. We're student government money. So it's going to be a little more tighter leash, but at the same time, we're going to have a lot more fun, get to travel to a new place, get to eat around for a little bit, look around. It is a cool, and the other cool thing about their hackathon, it's held inside of the University of Maryland, their arena, which is huge because up there they're mainly a lot more basketball oriented, so it's a cool opportunity. So
it'll be a lot of fun. We've been talking back and forth with the BitCamp organizers. We have special kind of accommodations made for us, 25 students, so it'll be a lot of fun. Do keep in mind that it is not going to be entirely free. You are going to have to pay to attend, but it's going to be a complete, like, super big subsidized rate. I believe the number we had in mind right now is $50. And that'll be at maximum. And that'll be a full round trip to Maryland. It's a hackathon, so food's free. We get to sleep there. The only thing is there are some limitations, like we said. No staying with a friend. You have to stay with the group. We do have to keep an eye on everyone since it is an SG-funded trip, just for safety reasons. And also, we're probably not bringing any check bags, so if you're known to travel heavy, it's probably not for you. All we're getting is the carry-on and the overhead. So just keep that in mind. We're not paying for check bags. But yeah, that's our travel hackathon to BitCamp. It's going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be the first time that NIHACS actually goes out and travels to their hackathon, so we're kind of taking very delicate care with this, but it's going to be a lot of fun. With that being said...
Also, the last thing is, if you're scanning that QR code, that is the list that we're going to be pulling off first and foremost, at least for the SGA side. So this is very important. If you do not fill this out, there's a good chance you're not going. So please make sure you fill that out.
I'm planning on posting every single QR from the GBM tomorrow morning because I don't want to ping again, which means y'all get a, I don't know, like 12-hour head start. So just keep that in mind. But I'll post all of these links tomorrow, the BitCamp interest form, the organizer interest form, all of those type of things. But with that being said, that does actually conclude most of what we're talking about here today. We don't really have much going on in fall anymore since it's ending, so kind of just giving a sneak peek to everything in spring. I look forward to seeing everyone around next semester. Or right after the GBM, we do have a partial proceeds at Panda Express on University Boulevard. If you guys want to go with us there, we're probably going to head out in like 30, 45 minutes. We'll just chill in this room until then. But please eat so we can make money because we like money. It helps us do cool stuff. So go out to Panda Express. There isn't a specific time window. You can literally have had breakfast there this morning if you're weird and have Panda Express for breakfast. So it's not like a time one. Go at midnight if they're open then. But make sure you show them their flyer. It's posted in the club announcements. And yeah, with that being said, thank you all for coming. And thank you for a really good fall semester. It was a blast. We had a really good time. So thank you guys.